Growing up in Metro Detroit, Susan Shaw vividly recalls one hard and fast rule in her house.
Sherry Hodak will be stepping in with the weather. Dave Dials with sports.
I can tell you that in our household, you had to be home in time for the news. And the news for us was Bill Bonds and Diana Lewis.
And Detroit's first news team joined.
So I became sort of a news junkie where I just found current events to be fascinating.
That passion drove Susan to pursue a degree in communications, ultimately landing her first television reporting job in Cadillac, Michigan.
My very first story was doing a check-in at the deer checkpoint at the Clare rest area, and we had all these deer hanging up.
After stints at other stations in the state and in South Carolina, Susan arrived in Grand Rapids in October of 1994 and is now called West Michigan home for almost a quarter century. She's covered the big stories in West Michigan over the years, including co-anchoring live coverage of the Roderick Dantzler shooting rampage in 2011 that unfolded as live breaking news.
I remember getting a call from the news director that said, "You're going to want to get in here. There's somebody that's on the loose driving around shooting at people through Grand Rapids."
It was a turn that earned her an Emmy for anchoring. Susan's skill and deft interviewing skills were also on display during the funeral of President Gerald Ford, coverage that earned her accolades as the nation paid its respects to the former president.
I'll never forget standing there, and it was this gorgeous blue sky day, and they had the planes pass over, and it was the missing man formation. And as that plane peeled away, I just remember looking up and thinking to myself, I can't believe I'm standing here. I can't believe I'm a part of this whole thing. And being a part of that is really a privilege.
Susan also supports numerous charities and organizations throughout West Michigan, including I Understand, a nonprofit that focuses on suicide prevention and mental health awareness, the Bissell Pet Foundation, and the Leukemia and Lymphoma Foundation.
We're fortunate in Grand Rapids because there are so many organizations that do so much for each other. I think Grand Rapids is unique that way. There are charitable organizations, and then there are the ones in Grand Rapids where they really go the extra mile. I think it's extremely rewarding to be a part of those, and as many as I can. So whoever asks, I like to make myself available to help in any way that I can.
Going the extra mile also describes Susan's talents away from the desk. Her turn on ice skates during the station's Winter Olympics coverage in 2014, a prime example of her extensive skill set. I think you stunned everybody in the station and West Michigan.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, I figure skated my whole life.
And as for the challenges that she's faced in over 30 years in broadcasting,
hairstyles have changed. I've had a lot of hairstyles, that's for sure, but it's been almost 30 years. I think I may have come full circle.
Susan has always adapted to whatever the latest trends might be in broadcasting, but has always focused on the human element.
We have access to a tremendous amount of knowledge and information. We are open to everything, and we are able to connect with everyone instantly. So in that regard, the information that can get out there, it's more important than ever that local news really take the reins and bring it together and make sure that there's accuracy and accountability involved.
It's a passion reflected in the decades of service to the community and to the TV news industry, always with an eye to the future.